terrible. Am I gonna be okay? Shh.
No, you'll be all right. I already Googled it.
Somebody that has just checked in. Okay, the individual that just logged in under Larissa, can you please unmute and turn your camera back on? I think you had a gray hoodie on.
Yes, ma'am.
Good
Yes,
morning.
ma'am.
Your name, please.
Good-
Your name, please.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Your name, please.
Devontae Smiley.
Okay, are you here? What matter are you here for, sir?
I think we had like a landlord-tenant court date today.
Your last name is Smiley?
Yes, but the other name that should be on there might be Hardesty. Larissa Hardesty.
Yes, that matter was scheduled for 9:45 today, sir. That matter has been defaulted.
Okay, I was just calling. I didn't have the paper. She was at work, so I was just I didn't know how to log on.
Well, sir, you know, how did you log on now?
I just Googled it. Didn't know I can Google it. I Googled it. I just Googled the
Okay,
Zoom ID number. I couldn't find it.
Okay. Well, I would suggest contacting the attorney to see if they're willing to do something, but as of now, the default's been entered. Okay, sir?
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
Shauna, can you please unmute?
Yes.
Okay, good morning. Your
Good morning.
which man are you here on?
I can't hear you. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, can you turn your camera on, please?
Yes.
All right, thank you. And can you please remove your hat?
Ooh, I'm at work.
Okay, I can appreciate that, but you're also in court, and so a hat's not appropriate for court. And so which matter are you here for, ma'am?
I'm here for the apartment.
For the apartment?
Yes.
Which apartment?
Riverview Crossing, 201.
Okay. Do you have a case number for your matter today?
No, I don't. I left the paper at home. I just took down the thing that I needed to join the call. I know they were saying something about coming to evict or whatever, because I talked
Okay,
to
what is
them back in February.
Okay, what is your I'm sorry, what is your last name, ma'am?
Powers?
Powers?
Yeah.
Okay. Counsel, do you want me to put you in a breakout room with her? She lives at Riverview Crossing, so I don't know if maybe it's one that's been dismissed or maybe she's with the
I think it's the
239.
trespasser case. I think it's the 239.
Oh, okay.
If you'd like me to, I'll go
Okay.
into the breakout room.
I'll put you in a breakout room, but ma'am, I'm gonna need you to please focus on, you're gonna have to put the camera on your face, not on the ceiling, please, okay?
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna put you in a breakout room with Ms. Luckoff.
Okay. Go!
Hand me my screen box. Now go free. Rah.
Trespasser, unauthorized trespasser, 2400239.
For the record, Your Honor, Cheryl Luckoff on behalf of the plaintiff.
All right, and the court will note that Shauna Powers was present earlier. And the court had closed out the breakout room because she couldn't, she was still sitting in there, and I requested her to come back to the main session. She wasn't able to come back. So the court closed it. She came out in the main session, and then she was out here for a couple moments, I think it was, and then she went off. The court will also note that she was at work. She did state that she was at work when she called, when she zoomed in. And counsel?
Your Honor, this is an action for termination of tenancy due to what we deem to be a trespasser in the unit. I did speak to this individual, Ms. Powers. She told me that she sublet from Facebook, so I just indicated to her that we needed possession of the premises, that technically I could ask for possession today, but I was not going to do that, that I was going to ask for the statutory 10-day, there's really no redeeming here, but 10 days to vacate. And so we're just asking for a judgment of possession to be entered for this unit.
All right, the court will note that Ms. Powers was present. She's not here anymore. And so then the court will order by default, since she couldn't stick around, that plaintiff has a right to recover possession of the property. And if Ms. Powers does not relocate by, or does not remove herself from the property by April 29th, plaintiff may apply for an order evicting Ms. Powers. And the court will sign that upon receipt.
Thank you.
We will go on the record in the matter of Ronald Turner versus Colonial Village Cooperative 2302077. Okay.
Morning.
Good morning. Mr. Turner, you're going to go over that way, please. And I'm going to just have you make sure you're keeping your volume up, okay?
Volume? Oh.
Yeah, yes, your volume. And who's the individual that's coming?
My wife.
I'm sorry?
It's my wife.
Okay.
Do you want me up here or no?
Well, just 1 moment. So, Mr. Turner, your name for the record, please.
Ronald Turner.
I need you to be a little bit louder, sir.
Ronald Turner.
Okay. And is your wife named on the lawsuit?
No, it's my name.
Okay. So
Just,
she's a witness?
yes.
Okay, so I'm going to have her step outside into the lobby so that if we need her testimony, that it'll be clean testimony. Okay.
Cool.
Yes. So if the other individual. Okay. Ma'am, I don't have you identified for the record, so that's why I can't have you talking right now. But
That's good.
okay, is your son going to also be testifying?
You might, because
Ma'am, I can't have. Ma'am, you're not identified for the record, so I can't have you interrupt the record, please.
Okay.
Is your son going?
He might.
He might.
I'm not sure.
Okay, so sir, I'm going to have. Sir, I don't have you identified for the record either right now, so, okay. Okay, and then Mr. Gallup, your appearance, please.
Good morning, Judge. Creighton Gallup, P63002, on behalf of the defendant, Colonial Village. I have my site manager, David Rudolph, to my right.
Okay. And Mr. Rudolph, can you please state and spell your first and last names?
David Rudolph.
And Mr. Rudolph, I know that we went over this last time. I wanted to confer, well, actually, I think I went over it with counsel, and then you contacted Mr. Rudolph because we have an individual with another matter. I wanted to make sure it was not the same individual. And looking at you, I know that you're not the same individual. But I only had a name to go by last time. So, okay. And again, this is case number 2302077. Okay. So we have a couple of things up today. We have an adjourned pretrial or settlement conference or what have you. Then I show motion, a summary disposition motion.
Correct, Judge.
Okay, I don't have a copy of that motion. Did you file it on base or did you file it in person?
I thought it was on base, Your Honor. We actually argued it mostly that day, and I think because there were so many documents Mr. Turner had, you wanted me to see Mr. Rudolph in person, maybe asking some questions. You asked us to come here today in person.
Well, yes, and Mr. Turner had a whole bunch of pictures and things like that I don't know that you had copies of.
If you'd like an extra copy, Judge.
Because if I recall correctly, there's an issue regarding your vehicle that was damaged, correct, Mr. Turner?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna have you and Mr. Rudolph, please raise your right hands. So,
Yes.
I'm sorry, Mr. Turner,
Yes.
Mr. Rudolph.
Yes, I
And I was looking at Mr. Turner and I said Mr. Rudolph. Well, okay, Mr. Gallup has filed a motion for summary disposition also. Which I do remember reading this because I thought to myself, I don't really consider Riverview to be rural or semi-rural, but I mean, Colonial Village is up against a field, but I wouldn't. So I do recall reading it, but I don't know why I can't access it now.
And ours is the only motion, Judge. I don't believe Mr. Turner. He filed some supplementary items, but I don't believe he's filed his own motion.
He is not, but it's up for a pretrial today too. So it's a motion in a pretrial today. So
Maybe I can summarize it in just a few sentences, Your Honor. if it helps.
yes.
Your Honor, there's no dispute. Where our property is, that there is going to be, there's no chance of having 100% eradication of rats or other type of critters that may come around. We are across the street from a land preserve. We have a golf course next door, et cetera. But our position is that this is just not a case that has the remedy that is available to the defendant. We just don't believe that he's entitled to what he's asking. There's absolutely no causation that's been shown between the existence of a rat or rats and damages to his vehicle, which he's not been able to establish. The court inquired as to what exactly how he has been damaged. He said he was getting estimates. I think he had mentioned he'd gone to one location and maybe $170 or something like that. He was still getting estimates. So one, we don't believe there's causation. Two, we believe the co-op has taken every reasonable recourse to rectify the situation here. They have consulted with and had constant consultation with a professional exterminator, U.S. Troop, I believe the name of it.
US what?
U.S. Troop.
Okay.
So they have not been doing this on their own. Mr. Rudolph himself can speak to his credentials. He's actually been an instructor and trained in pest eradication, certified through 2014. So definitely, why be an expert witness in this. So we've not taken this lightly. We certainly appreciate Mr. Turner's concerns. We have concerns for all of our residents that are there. But where it's at and all the complications that have happened with the tear up of the streets on 4th Street and across the road from there, we're just going to naturally have this ongoing issue for a long time. But he just can't prove that the rats necessarily chew his wires or that we're culpable for that. And even if he can prove that, I don't believe he's able to prove any of these damages. We tried to chat and work this thing out, but he's also making allegations of pain and suffering. There is no pain and suffering here. There have been no allegations or proof of therapy or any type of claims that he and or his wife have had to seek some type of medical recourse or any type of damage whatsoever. And if they are going to make that allegation, I think we're probably going to need to have some further discovery, but I don't believe that's necessary. I believe on the law and the facts themselves, the case should be disposed of on its face, both factually and legally.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so Mr. Turner, you're claiming $2,500 in damages.
Yes.
Okay, I just need you to speak up.
Oh,
Keep,
yes,
keep your volume up. Okay, thank you. And so I do recall last time I'd asked what the damages were to your vehicle.
Yes.
And so what are those damages?
I have 175 for wires. I got another paper for right around 175 is thing to clean the engine. But the other part I'm talking about that he says I don't have any proof. Okay, I got proof. You can look at envelope number 3.
Okay, what are you talking about? First of all, let's talk about the damages. You said $175.
Let me see.
That's to clean the engine?
150 for the engine.
150
for the wires.
150 for the wires.
Yes, and 175 to clean the scratch feces off the engine.
175.
To clean the engine.
Okay.
And which 150 is just because my check engine light is on.
Okay, so which envelope? Where is that estimate?
No, envelope 3.
Envelope 3. And did you already pay that amount?
No, I haven't got it done yet.
You haven't paid that amount. Okay. All right. And so, what kind of vehicle is it?
It's a Fusion.
A Fusion. Okay.
The papers that have the papers over there.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, the papers in there. Envelope 3. Engine and clean it and
Okay. And so, what color is your vehicle?
beige. Oh, you want to see the pictures of the?
No. I see the picture. I'd like to see the estimate that you are referencing.
Yeah, she'll be. It's in there. What these papers right here?
Envelope 3. It's on an envelope 3.
Is that number? I put a 3 on the envelope before I gave it to the court. Because the envelope says 3 on the outside.
Right.
So what's not in there?
No.
What's in there?
The stop pest control power washing, and then it's an email from Crystal Reno, and then your statement,
In my state, yes. Yeah.
and then
There's pictures in there also.
There's pictures. Yes.
Pictures. Look at those pictures.
Okay,
You'll see-
first, sir, I will look at
sorry.
I'll look at the photos. I'm just looking to see the estimates.
Okay,
You
there should
referenced
be-
an estimate.
Should be 2 estimates in there. It should be in there also.
Okay, next gas and auto repair. Rewire cylinder, shoot up wires, rat damage, okay? And then steam cleaning of entire engine bay, top tier detailing. All the way out in Belleville, you took it out to Belleville?
Where? No, that's what,
Oh, that's an estimate.
yes.
Okay, so why haven't you had these repaired yet, sir?
I gotta have the money. I'm retired. I'm not working, I'm retired right
Okay, let me just keep those right there. Okay, so how long have you resided at Colonial Village?
now. 14 years,
And this is the first time you had an issue with your vehicle?
yes. Not with rodents though.
No, I understand that.
Not the vehicle, but we had like raccoons all over the place because they said that they did everything they could. Also, it should be in number 3. I got pictures of garbage they put. We don't have any dumpsters. And when I had my
Wait, there aren't any dumpsters?
no, they put garbage directly on the ground. I have pictures.
I saw that around the by the parking lot.
That's why I wrote to them because I talked to my bird guard, the one the exterminator.
Right, so I'm looking at the picture of February 26th.
Can I see it?
It has a bunch of bags of trash in an enclosed area,
And what else is it?
and there's a white car next to it.
Okay, that's.
This came out of envelope 3.
Okay, you see that big pile of garbage?
Right,
That's directly in front of the office. When they walk out of the office, that's what we look at. So Mr. Rudolph sees it every day walk out of the office. That's what
okay, let me pause just a moment.
I'm sorry.
Mr. Rudolph, are there dumpsters on site?
No, ma'am.
Why are there not any dumpsters on site?
Well, I guess originally when the property was built, they used dumpsters, but when you frame out the dumpsters, you still got the fence around them. And it's still attracted and people put their trash out every single day. You've been failed to be notified that we require they take their trash out only after 4:30 the day before pickup.
Your Honor.
Hold on, sir, you can't interrupt, counsel, I got it.
I'm new, I'm not. I'm sorry, I apologize.
This area you're looking at right now is an area we do allow people, if they're going to be leaving for a while, or if they need to, they can drop it there.
That's the place directly adjacent
Directly
to the
across from
office.
the office.
Okay, but let me just ask a question. So your testimony is that people have to hold on to their trash inside their unit until the day before trash day.
Correct.
Sorry. 2 days pickups.
Yeah, we get picked up twice a week.
Okay, that makes more sense.
And we have cited members. We've had members put it in barrels on their patios, and we don't allow that, and we address it.
But somebody they have to keep the trash in their unit for 3 or 4 days?
If it takes
What if
that
somebody
long.
has 3 or 4, like they have to change their trash 3 or 4 times? They have to keep their trash in their unit?
Or wherever else they may wish to take it. Yes, ma'am.
But you don't have dumpsters? I find that very, and I just find it, with all the tenants that are there and all those units, that there's not any dumpsters on site and there are only plastic bags that go into this area.
We provide members twice a year with the strongest trash bags you can find. They're 3 mil. I mean, anybody can look it up and see that they are very thick mill plastic bags, and we provide those up to twice a year. And
What do you mean you provide them up to twice a year?
the members can come in and pick up a box. And there's
I understand that.
box
Are they, I mean, can animals not chew through them?
Oh, they can absolutely chew through them, absolutely.
Okay.
In Your Honor, I discussed this with the client earlier, and there had been a history, and I'm just providing this for historical purposes. I think 20 years ago or so is when they decided that they were just going to do away with them based on what Mr. Rudolph said, and also they were having issues with people accessing them. They were still having rodent issues because rats are pretty clever creatures. They can get into the drain pipes, etc. And because the trash would be out there longer, it was acting as more of a beacon for them. They were going to have issues with them sometimes rolling into the street. So they made a decision some time ago.
With what rolling into the street? The dumpsters?
Yes.
Sir,
I'm sorry.
let me just start. Listen, this isn't going to go very far. If you continue, let me finish.
I'm just sorry.
Please stop. I'm talking. Please stop. The recording can get one at a time. Noises, laughter, not helpful. And if that's going to continue, I'll end this now. So, sir, you haven't been there for 20 years. You've been there for 14. So you don't have the information regarding what happened 20 years ago. You can continue, counsel.
Yeah, and Judge, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought for a second, but I just want to provide some historical context that we take this issue seriously. Mr. Rudolph's been in the business for a long time, and we've gone back and forth that there's a better way of trying to store trash. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. I don't know. I'm not an expert in this. Mr. Rudolph is much more of an expert than I am, and we are dealing with a consulting group that is advising our client about this. It's a challenge because of where we're at, and maybe there's a better way of doing it, but we just haven't come up with it yet. But at the end of the day, I don't see how we can prove that if there was a rat there, the rats that are there are the ones that chewed through his wires. I mean, I think that he's got some severe legal deficiencies here. Maybe there's some things we can clean up on our end. I do believe we are making good faith efforts using all reasonable means to keep the infestation down. But we're gonna have rodents there.
I understand that, but I also am looking at a picture on February 27th. How many of these receptacles are there on property?
That look like that?
Well, no, not necessarily that look like that. How many of the receptacles are here? How many of these receptacles are on the property for people to put their trash in?
I believe there's 17 to 18.
And one of the other protocols we have, Your Honor, it's kind of a dirty business, but they will go out there, and if they find that people have put trash out before the requisite time frame, which is 4 p.m. the night before pickup, they'll actually go with gloves and rip open the bags and find out if they're who is the culprit, and they will get fined for it. So there are enforcement mechanisms in place that we do. It's not perfect, but we're trying to add some deterrence in there for people not following our rules. The only spot that is available for people that are not going to be there for the trash is the one that is right adjacent to the office. There's only supposed to be people that are leaving town. Some people probably abuse it, but maybe there's some ways we can clean that up a little bit. But all in all, at the end of the day, I just think that this claim is sufficient.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, now, Mr. Turner, I do have some questions for you, but let me just go off the record for one moment. So, Mr. Turner, where is your unit on the premises? And specifically, is it around the perimeter or is it around, let me please finish asking the question.
Sorry.
Is it around the perimeter or is it in the middle of the complex?
It's we're in the perimeter right next to the office. I use right next to the office.
Right next to the office.
Which is right next to the parking lot where that big pile of garbage is. My parking lot.
Okay, so when you look out your front door, what do you see?
Sylvie Road. Street. But to the left of me, this is my unit right here. This is my unit right here. The Sylvie Road is right there. To the left of me.
Sylvie Road is straight out from your door. To the left
Road.
of you is where?
The office.
Okay, what's past the office?
Parking lot is next to the
And what's next to the parking lot?
The big pile of garbage you see. It's in that parking lot.
What's after the big pile of garbage? Is it more units or is it a field?
The unit goes to the left of that. The parking lot is here, and the rest of the only business goes. This facility is here. This is the end of the.
I understand. Okay, you come out your door.
Yes.
Sibley Road.
Yes.
Okay, what's to your right?
Units.
Units.
Yes.
And to the left is the office and the parking lot, and then more units?
To the left?
Yes.
The unit goes away from the facility. The facility is where the units stop. The units
No, I understand that, but if sir, you come out of your unit.
Okay.
Okay, you're not the only one on Sibley Road.
No, it's 4 of us.
Okay, that's my question. So after the parking lot, what's after the parking lot? Is it an open field?
Cemetery.
The cemetery, okay. And then to the right of you are more units. And what's to the right of the units? A field?
To the right is it's a playground and more units. The rest is to the most common village units to the right.
Okay. Okay, so you're more on the eastern end of the complex.
I don't know what it would be east or west. I'm not sure.
Southeast corner.
Southeast corner.
Right, southeast corner, right,
Yes,
okay, right. Okay. So you would agree, sir, that wild animals are called that for a reason?
Yes.
Okay. And that you can't really contain the animals?
Right.
Okay. And so, Mr. Gallup, has anybody else had any issues with their vehicles with damage to their vehicles?
Not that I'm aware of, Judge.
Mr. Rudolph?
Yes, one other member has indicated his wires were chewed as well.
Okay. When was that?
Approximately at the same time,
Okay.
several months ago.
Okay. And where does that person reside? In proximity to Mr. Turner?
Down from Mr. Turner.
Excuse me,
Or is he next to you?
next to me.
Next to him. My apologies.
Okay, that's okay. Yes, Mr. Turner, were you going to clarify that he lives next door?
Yes,
Okay.
I want to see, could I say something else? Also?
Okay.
Okay, what they done,
Who's they?
Tuna Village,
Okay.
what happened was, I told them about the rats. They, I said, you need to get exterminated. I said, first of all, like I said, the dumpsters is all over the place. You got all 17 units, he said, we put garbage directly on the ground. They need to stop the rodent problem. The first thing you have to do is don't make the food source. That's number one. If you don't donate the food stores, have garbage on the ground in all these places, you know that's never going away.
Well, hold on.
Okay.
That's not true either, right? Because if there are dumpsters, the rats can climb up and over into the dumpsters.
But if they the size, the dumpster got the size they close.
I understand that, but I think we all can understand that mice and rats somehow can flatten themselves and get into crazy spaces that couldn't otherwise.
Yeah, it is.
So I do think that a more solid structure would be more beneficial than the current situation that you have. And clearly, the height of this enclosure isn't very tall either. And I don't know, do you have recycling?
No, we do not, Your Honor.
Okay, well, that might be one option to
If I
reduce
may-
some as far as like the box, like the cardboard or the plastic, I don't know. But
May I ask?
yes.
The photo you're seeing, it does not look like that every day.
Oh, I don't believe that it looks like that every
Just
day.
before pickup or whatever, and if you drove through the property the day before pickup, you'd see something similar in each area.
I'm sure, and I'm not suggesting it looks like that all the time.
And we've added 4 or 5 bins over there.
What do you mean by bins? Wheels?
The wheeled trash barrels.
They're out there right now.
Man, something.
Hold on, sir, just one moment.
Keep yourself aware about bins that you have like blue of dumpsters. What exactly are they?
They're your 60, I believe they're 64 gallon totes with the 2 wheels. We get multiple bags in there. Now, the problem we're working on is members will still just set it on top of them. So we have our guys go out every day.
Right, because people are lazy.
Thank you.
I mean, it's just a fact, they're lazy.
And the mere fact that it's there, people abuse that.
Well, let me clarify, some people are lazy, not all people.
Right.
So let me ask a question, Mr. Turner, this photo here, this is your back patio? This is your patio?
Yes. On that patio, can I explain that picture to you?
Okay.
Okay. They came out and they put the little, I told them we had rat problems. This worker came out. They put out, you see the little tiny little mouse boxes? That's what their groceries had.
The small little ones?
Small little ones.
Okay, what are the big black things?
I'll drop those there.
What are they?
Mouse bait, rat bait boxes.
Okay.
They were the Tony Village was so messed up. Okay.
Well, sir,
They put out mouse bait boxes. The little tiny ones are for mouse. The rats are bigger than the box. They can't even get in there. They can't even get to the point. So I got to.
But I thought I read an email from Ms. Reno from Crystal Reno, that they couldn't put out, we treat any rodent burrows with a tracking powder poison because bait blocks legally cannot be placed without being inside of a bait station.
Yes, that's what I was going to say next. What they was doing, they was put what they said they did everything they could. They didn't do anything. That's what they done. I watched them do it. Okay, I watched it. Mr. Rudolph and his workers do it. They take a block of bait, put it in a hole, without being in the box back there. The experiments did. Without being in the box, just illegal. They put a block in a hole, covered it with dirt. That's all they did. So the rats come out, push the bait out the hole, trying to get to the garbage because it's all on the ground all over the place. They rather eat that than the bait block.
Hold on,
That's against the
hold
law.
on, okay. So you saw the bait blocks being put into the burrows.
Yes, I watched him do it. Even though I watched, I stood and watched him. He also killed a rat on my patio. He saw a rat on my patio.
Okay.
I called and said, I got a rat on my patio. He ran out with his shovel. Ran to my house, he ran it with the, I'm right next to the office, right there. He come running with a shovel. Saw the rat on my patio. Chased the rat off the patio into the grass, killed the rat on the grass, and scooped the rat up.
Okay.
Because so I'm saying this is what my wife got to go through, seeing rats going back and forth to her car. That's why the mental angle is trying to go to work in the dark. I get pictures. Do you see the picture of live rats?
Hold on. A couple things. Number one, you said that they haven't done anything to prevent the problem.
Except
But-
illegal stuff.
Hold on, no, you said they haven't done anything. They've been taking steps to try to rectify the matter. Okay, so the second thing is that, do you have assigned parking?
No,
Okay, so where is it that you or your wife park?
right by the garbage pile. That's what we got. That's what right by the office.
Why do you park there?
That's what we right. We got 8 spots. Right, that's our area we park in. Everybody, me, my next door neighbor, because we got 4 units right there. There's 8 spots right there.
Right, so why don't you park in a different spot?
It's 8. That's what because it's way down. The thing about other garbage, that other garbage down there too. It's garbage all over the place. It's garbage all over the complex. You got a picture with garbage all over different places.
Well, yes, but hold on, sir. I'm just wondering why you continue to park right by the trash receptacle.
That's the parking lot. Where there's he parks there too.
There's a trash receptacle by every parking spot?
No, it's just all over you want to see these?
No, so I'm asking, sir, why don't you park somewhere different?
Because it's trash, we should trash every receptacle over the whole complex. No matter where I go,
Okay, let me clarify. Instead of parking right next to the trash receptacle, why don't you park 3 down?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Yeah, we do that. Yeah, I thought you meant we parking those 8 spaces or that we parking. Not just right next to the, yeah, I don't mean like that. There's 8 spaces there.
Okay, and you also have a grill on your patio, correct?
Yes,
And you have a patio table.
yes,
Okay. So, and I see that the fence doesn't go all the way down to the ground.
yes. That's where the rat came out. We chased her underneath the fence.
Okay.
And when what they told, they came out there, like I said, it was grossly negligent because they used to have rats and they put out little tiny mouse boxes. And I had to bring the black ones myself, which the rat boxes put out myself.
Mr. Rudolph, why didn't you put out rat boxes instead of the smaller mice boxes?
We have added multiple rat boxes. And I would disagree with his statement.
Which
If
statement?
we got a call for a mouse, we would put a mouse trap out. If we got a call for a rat, we would take care of that. We would not with mouse traps.
Are there both mouse traps and rat traps out there? Is it a combined effort because,
We
No,
don't,
yes,
we do not put
Well,
mouse
you can't
traps.
interrupt,
I'm
please.
sorry. We do not put mouse traps out unless a member calls and says they saw a mouse.
Okay, so there's a photo dated February 28th at 10:55 p.m. This on Mr. Turner's patio. It shows mice boxes and then rat boxes. But you have to say yes or no, okay?
I advise that, yes.
Oh, okay. And so Mr. Turner is indicating that he bought these black rat boxes.
I believe he did.
Okay, so if he called you regarding rat boxes, why wouldn't you have put out rat boxes?
He didn't request one. And we don't just put them out because of.
So you have to
poison.
request a rat box specifically?
If you got a rat, you want a rat box, yes, we would put one on every patio wall there. If they requested it.
Is that in addition to any of the work that you would do with the consultants that would put rat traps in other locations?
Oh, absolutely. We've got 2 rat boxes on each building.
These are additional rat trap boxes that the
Correct.
judge was saying, right? So if there were additional ones necessary, you would put those out there. That would be in addition to the other steps that you're taking.
Yes.
Because there are rat traps all over the place based on our consultation with the U.S. Trooper. Because there are rat traps all throughout the community. And based on your experience and your working with the consultant, are there adequate rat traps out there for the size of the property or the issues that we're having right now?
The answer yes, but that I didn't ask specific question of that other person. If I could say one more thing, Your Honor,
Okay,
is he alluded to the fact that we killed a rat on his patio, and we did, and it was staggering because it was getting to the bait. When a rat starts eating poison, it weakens, and it can't run off. I could have never caught that rat that had not been poisoned.
well, I was wondering how you got the rat.
And then the second point I'd like to point out is the letter he received stating it has to be put in a rat box. Like I said, I have trained for a number of years pesticide applicators. And there's one rule, one hard, fast rule. The label is the law. You follow the label. I did not bring it. I believe it might be in my car. I got a copy of the label. It does not say it has to be placed in the box. And when you study the product, you can actually set it and push it down in the holes. The only recommendation they would make is don't plug the hole because the rat will just start using the next exit. But we plug the hole and hope of finding the next exit and do that one. Because once they no longer have food, they start to eat, which him eating it and getting foggy is evidence what we were doing was working.
Okay, so my question is this, sir, you stated that you testified that your wife had pain and suffering.
Yes, but she's that's why she's a witness. She goes to work. She saw rats all the time. You see the rat pictures on there?
Yes.
Okay. I took pictures of the place right next to us. It's all big. The office right there. I took 2 pictures in the daylight. The rats in there.
Okay, hold on, sorry, I'm not hearing how.
I'm
You're testified that your wife suffered pain and suffering.
Yeah, because she goes to work in the dark.
What time does she go, where does she work?
She works in Roll
Okay, and what is her shift?
Sure. She goes in the morning. I mean, she lives different times. She's a nanny.
She's a nanny.
Yeah, so
Okay, so what time?
In the mornings, like when it's dark in the mornings, and she has to dodge rats.
Hold on, sir. Please, just answer my question right now.
I apologize.
What time does she leave for work?
I would have to ask her. Maybe I'm not have to ask her.
You don't know what time your wife leaves for work?
I mean, like around 5:30. Sometimes different times. Sometimes depending on what they might say. Well, we need you to come in early tomorrow. We might need you to come in later the next day. It's usually around 5:30ish.
Okay.
No, you just mean right around that time, 5:30.
And what time does she get home?
Well, it depends. It's in Royal Oak, so she got like it's a lot of traffic coming back. She might take an hour to get there one day.
Okay.
It might take 2 hours to come out 75.
Okay, so your wife has a different car than you do?
Yeah.
Okay.
And she had to dodge rats getting into her car. One time she told me she saw a whole family of rats. She saw a big one and some little ones in the park.
Okay, again, sir, you don't live in a fenced-in yard, right, with all privacy fences that go all the way down to the ground, things like that.
Yes.
You live on a main street. You have a cemetery to one side, and I think there's a baseball field on the other side of that or something, if I recall correctly.
Yeah.
You have a lot of open field, okay?
Correct.
So whether it's a rat, a mouse, a squirrel, a raccoon, an opossum, a deer, whatever it is, Colonial Village cannot control that coming onto the property, okay?
Right.
Now, even if there were rats right there, doesn't necessarily mean they were there to stay permanently. They could have been moving on along for their next place they're looking for. I don't know. Pain and suffering, out the window. That's not even a thing. Okay, I understand. Perhaps your wife hates rats. I hate rats. I hate mice. Hate snakes. So it's all gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah.
But if I'm walking on somebody's property, or if I'm, on my property and I see one of those, ooh, right? I get the chills, like just go away. If I'm on someone else's property, I'm not going to sue them for pain and suffering. That's a me issue.
Okay.
That's a me issue.
I understand.
So that's out the window. Now, I do think, counsel, that the issues I have some concerns with are the fact that the trash is just on the ground, not in any heavy receptacle, so to speak. Okay. I think that's a little bit more of a magnet for the rats than in a dumpster. I'm not suggesting that in a dumpster they're going to go away, it's going to eradicate them, because that's never going to happen. Never going to happen. So the rats will never be completely eradicated, Mr. Turner.
I get that, I understand.
Even if you're living in a house on a street that had 10 other houses on one side, right? I mean,
Yeah,
there are blocks of houses that, you know, when there's construction on 4th Street, all those rats come all the way out and things of that nature. So it's not going to completely be eradicated.
Rams, can I say something? Is it okay?
Okay.
Okay, first of all, this is not going away. I agree 100%, they're not going away. Okay, we had raccoons there since I've been here, because they're a big part of garbage here. Okay, and when I'm saying that they should be responsible, because by them having put the garbage in the ground, they're feeding the rats. They're feeding them. They come in there to eat.
Okay, but here's a question I have. You've been there for 14 years.
Yes.
The trash has been like this for 20 years.
Well, they said 20.
Okay, so it's been like that since you lived there.
Yes.
Okay, so, but you haven't had this issue with your car until now.
No, we have had raccoon issues. Raccoons like crazy, same thing, except it wasn't rats, wasn't chewing on wires, but those piles of garbage, if you come in there, especially in the dark.
Okay, but sir, here's my point. Okay.
I'm trying to say it.
Raccoons, I understand that. Raccoons. Okay, raccoons are there. Colonial Village can't control raccoons. You can't control the raccoons from coming onto the property.
I agree.
When it's an open property.
They can control the garbage in the ground.
Sir, please listen to my question.
Okay.
Or my statement.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be
Statement
smart.
and question.
I'm not trying to
Okay,
be.
but sir, please stop talking when I'm talking. I'm trying to record,
Okay,
and I've already said that. One person can speak at a time. So, my statement from the evidence that I see and that you've presented suggests that this is the first time you've had this issue with your vehicle having wires chewed, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So you've lived there for 14 years. The trash has been like this for 14 years. This is the first time that you've had your wires chewed on your vehicle, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So what is different now that your wires have been chewed on your vehicle than over the last 14 years that it's Colonial Village's fault that your wires have been chewed?
Because it started last May. Before May, we didn't see any rats at all. It started.
Okay, so tell me what happened in May. What changed in May?
I don't know what changed. The rats started coming there.
The rats got bolder?
I guess they wanted something to eat, and they was feeding them.
Okay, but the trash has been like that
Yes,
for 14 years.
Yes.
So I need to know, I need you to tell me, prove to me, to the court, what changed over the last 14 years that now your vehicle wires have been chewed?
I don't know. If I can prove to you that they lied in one of their statements, if I can prove it, that they lied in one of their statements.
What statement would that be?
Okay, I'm not going to ask. If I can prove to that, well, that was my case. If I can prove that they lied, I can prove it right now.
Well, hold on. I don't know what statement you're talking about first, so I can't answer that question. What statement
Right here.
what statement did they lie about?
Saying that I'm the only one that had rat damage to my car.
No. Mr. Rudolph testified that your next door neighbor also had wires chewed on his car.
Letter right here said from the village, saying I'm the only one that had this problem.
Who's that letter written from?
From him. They got the lawyer's name on there, everything.
It's the last page of our pleading, which we had filed before. We found out about the second one. He's supplementing the record. He's being completely candid.
Okay,
But against the co-op's interest, he's saying that, hey, there was one other incident.
okay,
But
so,
the incident that when the guy told him he had rats was in May when I told him he had rats.
okay,
This
Mr.
came
Turner,
after him.
okay, let me just say this. That's a pleading that the attorney filed, okay, based on whatever information he had at the time. So, Mr. Rudolph testified under oath at this point that you are not the only one that has had damage to your vehicle. Your next door neighbor also had damage to the vehicle. Okay, so Mr. Gallup may not have had that information when he filed that pleading. Okay, so that doesn't make or break your case.
Okay.
Okay.
I understand.
What the court is interested in seeing is what changed over the last 14 years that now your vehicle sustains damage. Was there a change in the pickup of the trash? Was there, what was that?
I don't know. They could have been around before. I didn't notice them, but I didn't notice any rats. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't know before. I didn't notice any rats before. It could have been, and maybe it started multiplying. You know, it could.
Was there construction somewhere around this? Yes.
Could you please supplement the record? Did you want?
Yes, Your Honor. I thought it said earlier that they buried a line for the methane gas down Sibley Road. And I can't pinpoint the exact time, I'll probably go back and find it, but they disrupted it over there. And again, Colonial Village is saying, we're not saying we didn't have a initial rat problem. But I believe everybody would be remiss to say it's all back under control as it was. And there should have to be no changes.
But based on your recollection, sometime around the same time,
Absolutely.
Mr. Turner is referencing
Absolutely.
when there was an increase was when they did the dugout across the way with wire. So we think there's probably a correlation there, Judge.
Okay. And so, Mr. Turner, that would make sense, right? Because you're testifying that there isn't anything that you can recall that has changed,
Right.
that's been different regarding the trash or anything of that nature over the last 14 years, where now your vehicle has been damaged or the wires have been eaten. It also makes sense that now there seems to be, they're more noticeable, or you're noticing them more because their habitat, wherever they were at, was disrupted by the road, by the construction for digging the gas pipe. That all makes sense. Because you can't pinpoint anything specifically regarding Colonial Village, something changing.
Nothing changed. So
Right.
That's what we said. That's right. That's what he said was right.
Right.
But I think that they should hire professional exterminators, but they don't know what they're doing. They I called and said I told them I have rats in the rat burrows inside my patio. They put mouse boxes out. Okay. Instead of putting rat boxes, they put a mouse box out. They don't know what they're doing. They should have professional exterminators. They're saying that we've been advised. We took the advice from the exterminator. Okay, just like saying he needs open heart surgery. And I get advice from a surgeon to do his surgery for him. It's the same thing.
No, that's not
But you know, you get my point.
I see your analogy. I see your analogy.
But they should get.
I think it's a little bit different.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Right,
I'm just
because-
over the top.
Because medical surgery is a little bit more precise and some other things that have to happen as opposed to an issue that needs to be resolved and how to resolve it.
Yeah, no one over the top.
So, it appears rat boxes were put out, baits were put out, mice boxes were put out. When you contacted to say that there was a rat, right? Mr. Rudolph responded and, exterminated the rat.
Yeah.
I mean, it appears to be that was a problem for you, that he killed the rat with a shovel.
No, it wasn't a problem. I'm just trying to say there was rats were there, and they need to hire exterminators. He's not an exterminator.
Okay, but let me just say this too. Mr. Turner, it appears as though US Truth, is who they utilize, and an exterminator, I mean, what is it that you believe an exterminator would do?
Okay, the paper of my exterminator says, they never put rat poison in the hole. They said they would put dust in the hole.
Okay.
Rat dust deep into the hole, they put rat dust deep into the hole.
Okay,
So when the rat comes in and the rat gets dust on himself, you can't push bait out. They put plain bait on the hole, pushing out into the rat can push it right out into the ground where pests and children get to. My exterminator that you ever listed, that's illegal. They can't do that, supposed to do that.
okay, so that's a letter that I'm reviewing, it's technically a hearsay document, but I'm reviewing it. And so what is it that,
And they need dumpsters.
okay, I don't disagree that they need dumpsters, okay, I don't disagree. But having dumpsters is not going to eradicate the rats.
No, it won't, but I mean, to slow it down, because they just eating it right off the ground.
It possibly could, but also if there isn't construction, that would also slow it down, right? The road construction or the gas line construction interrupted their habitat. That's something that happens. I mean, it happened to houses along, with their backyards up against businesses on 4th Street and whatnot. So your exterminator on the hearsay document, your exterminator would do it a little bit differently than what Colonial Village did. They put bait, they put boxes, they were doing and taking proactive measures or reactive measures to help reduce the problem. Now, perhaps there's a different system with the trash. I don't know. I think that perhaps there is a different way that could occur. But Mr. Turner, the stop pest control power washing has one way of doing things. US Troop has a different way, and I'm sure if you were to contact another company, that would be a third way, right? Just as though there's many courts and there's different procedures that they do things in. So I don't disagree that your wires were cheap. Yes, sir.
Okay, they're not being professional.
Who's not being professionals?
Colonial Village not being professional exterminator. They don't know where to put the boxes at. They guessing. They're not professionals. A professional might say, "Well, I need a bait box here," and they might Colonial Village might put them over there. They're not professional.
Okay, let me ask this question, Mr.
My spots.
Let me ask this question, Mr. Rudolph. Did US Troop come out to the property, or were there only phone consultations?
Oh, no, they were out to the property when they started setting the first bait boxes, absolutely.
Okay.
And he came to the property.
Who's he?
I think his name's Lee.
Oh.
I apologize if I can't.
Okay, so let me just clarify this. Okay, so, all right. So I believe that US Troop is owned by Lee Shaw. Is that his name?
I couldn't even tell you that. My office manager scheduled me when I asked.
Is it possible that's handled?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
entirely possible, yes, ma'am.
So I think that they recently changed their name
Just recently.
from something different.
Yes,
What was it before? I don't recall.
Lee's Pest Control or something.
I think so. So I want to disclose that that Lee's wife is the probation director here at the court. I was unaware of that at any point during, I forgot that they had changed their name to US Troop. So I want to disclose that because I don't want there to be any concern that this court is taking anything into consideration based upon that relationship. Okay,
I don't have any concern, Judge. Mr. Turner.
Mr. Turner, do you have any concerns?
Go with that. I know you're not doing good job. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm good with that.
All right, if you think that this court's being biased in any way because of the service that he's using, then
No.
we could, I can disqualify myself. Okay, all right. I just wanted to disclose that. I did not know that up until now when you said the name of the owner. That's when it connected for me. So you were shown so the owner came out and put the bait boxes in various locations.
I'm not sure if he placed them originally or if he told us where to place them,
Okay,
because that was years ago now. We've been aggressively pursuing this for years, and I wasn't here when they were originally set.
okay, all right. So, and I can just even just tell you, sir, there was a time we had a little friend in our front office over there that we could never catch. Didn't matter how many boxes we put out, how many mice traps or whatever else it may be. For whatever reason, we had one person in one little mouse that we couldn't catch. Finally, we ended up catching it, right? And I don't even know where it even came from or what have you. But it was probably for a good few weeks. It was annoying as all get out, I can tell you that. But I'm just letting you know that even indoors, it's not without issues. I have no doubt, sir, that your vehicle's wires were eaten. And I have no doubt that it was by rodents. The issue is whether or not Colonial Village has a responsibility to repair your vehicle because the rodents chewed your wires. And that's where the disconnect is coming, okay? Because, and no pun intended, right? Because the testimony has been that there haven't been any issues for the last 14 years regarding your vehicle. The testimony was that there wasn't anything that changed with any of the trash procedures or anything of that nature over the last 14 years. What's been determined is that there was an uptick in the rodents that can likely be attributed to the road or the construction for the burying of a gas line. That isn't Colonial Village's responsibility. That isn't, there hasn't been a causal connection that's been established that Colonial Village didn't do anything to address the uptick in the rodents based upon the construction that had occurred on Sibley Road. Is it frustrating? Absolutely. I don't discount that at all, Mr. Turner. I mean, there are individuals whose car is parked on the street and it's chewed by a rabbit, a rodent, a squirrel, whatever it may be, and that's sometimes what happens. I mean, that sometimes is what happens, and I mean, you can't sue Mother Nature, right? And so for those reasons, sir, the court has to grant the defendant's motion for summary disposition because there's not a causal connection. Yes.
Okay, well, is there any way you can just make them place metal dumpsters in there instead of placing garbage on the ground?
Well, I'm actually surprised that that's not an ordinance violation to have it all on the ground.
Your Honor, he had the picture he was going to show you, Your Honor, what it looks like today, which is clean.
Oh, okay. Oh, please don't interrupt.
But
I'm not suggesting it looks like that all the time. I agree. It probably doesn't look like that all the time. However, when you have you have a lot of individuals in your complex, and obviously a lot of them don't necessarily follow the directions. But it would appear to me that I just have to say, given the ordinance enforcement that the city of Riverview partakes in, and I have to say, I'm surprised that that's not an ordinance violation to have them on the ground.
Make me squirm a little, Judge, because I'm in a little bit of a tight spot considering my office is city attorney for Riverview as well. But I can say we are taking heed of the court's comments today, and we will take those back to the board of directors and work closely with them and management to see if there's a better alternative, because we do sympathize with the defendant and we appreciate the comments of the court. And we will see if there's a better way of doing it. We just haven't found it yet, but maybe there's a better way out there. So I'm sure you'll go back to the board and discuss if there's some better options. We'll do that.
Yes, because I'm pretty certain that individuals can't just put bags of trash on the.
It's It's frustrating, but we are actively enforcing it, and perhaps we need to increase our fines too, just to send a message. But Mr. Rudolph's been out there with gloves, ripping trash.
I understand, and I appreciate
It's
those
frustrating.
efforts, but I also think that increased fines isn't going to necessarily, eliminate the rodents. And I think that while they will not 100% be eliminated or eradicated, having one larger receptacle where it's harder for rodents to just go right along the ground and get right to them may be the solution. Maybe without wheels, I don't know. I mean, because I don't think anybody's going to be pulling them into the Sibley Road if they don't have wheels.
We understand.
So
We take heed of the court's opinion. Thank you, Judge.
you're welcome.
Well, that sounds like they're not gonna do it. That's what it sounds like. They're not gonna put dumpsters on it.
Mr. Turner,
Yes.
that issue isn't necessarily before the court, right? There's not anything before the court requiring them to put dumpsters out, okay? I don't have anything from the city of Riverview that they've violated an ordinance. What's before the court today is your lawsuit that you had requested $2,500. Mr. Gallup filed a motion for summary disposition, and after hearing testimony from both parties that there is not a causal connection that Colonial Village is responsible for paying for the vehicle to be, the wires to be fixed and the engine to be cleaned, based upon the evidence and the testimony that was placed on the record. Okay, again, I understand your frustration. But again, it appears as though what changed was construction on Sibley Road that increased the rodents, and that again is outside of the control of Colonial Village, as well as corralling, so to speak, the wildlife. That is what caused the damage. So the court has to grant defendant's motion for summary disposition, and this matter is dismissed.
We'll submit an order, Judge. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I'll give you back your estimates there, sir.
Are you kidding me?
Oh my God.
You have got to be kidding me. What? What is going on today? This is a joke. This is a joke. Today is an absolute joke. He needs an interpreter.
I need an interpreter when I cannot express myself sometimes.
This is a joke. Oh my God, sir. Put that cigarette out. I don't give a crap that you are outside of this. What is wrong with everybody today? You know what, Miss Reed? We're going to start bringing people in person. People are going to learn how to act in a courtroom.
Can you hear it? Can you hear it? Ma'am? Ma'am? Can you hear it?
No.
Okay.
I have no patience for that. And trust me, out of the day, I'm sitting up here, I'm the one that needs a drink.